transformation by hitting Command D. And there's my super thin. You're better off to deal with a super thin line because you always make it thicker. But if something's very thick, you can't make it thinner. You can't go thinner than 1 point. I'm going to take this and I'm going to go to brush, new art brush, hit OK. And again, I'm going to pick tints and shades, Hit OK. Make a change, save a change. Good have to get into make a change, save a change. So I'm going to hide that for a second. Command 3. Okay. So now when I create a spiral, my spiral is going to have neon from the center. I'm going to click this point right here. So there's my spiral with neon from the center. But I want to create a spiral that starts out fat and gets thin, or starts out thin, gets fat, then gets thin again. So how can I do that? Well, here's a really cool technique for doing that. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing I just did, different way. So I'm going to hit the P for pen tool. I'm going to create a simple path from point A to point B. Okay, now I'm going to keep this path thin. I'm going to keep the path thin. Now keep in mind, we're in Illustrator 5.5 that uses the width tool. 5 and 5, I'm sorry, I'm actually doing CS5.1. CS5 and CS5.1 have the width tool, which is Shift W tool. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go to the center of here and pull out the center to the width. Okay, pretty cool. Now, you want to get exactly in the center, then just plot where your center is by going, just put the center part. There's my center, right there. Now, I don't want to make it that wide, so I'm just going to basically drag about there. Now, I'm going to take that, go to copy that, Command C, copy. Paste in front, Command F, Control F for Windows, paste in front. The one that's in front, I'm going to make white. Okay, white, I'm going to make a very small point. So we're going to make this like 0.25 points. Okay, now I'm going to move that by hitting the down arrow key. Okay, now that's moving a little too far. So I'm just going to go to Command K for preferences, move this about 4 pixels by typing in Command K, preferences, 4, return. What that does for me is when I move my arrows up, down, left, right, moves 4 pixels. So now I'm going to hit Command Y, go back to I'm going to zoom into this Command plus, Control plus for Windows. Go into Effect, I need to select. Go to the Blend tool, which is the letter W, pick a point to blend from, hold down the Option key for Macintosh, Alt key for Windows, pick a point to blend to. Okay, we're going to blend, say, 25 steps, just like we did before. Okay, so then I get this happening. And that's kind of looking kind of strange, but we're going to fix this. We're going to directly select these 2 anchor points and do the same technique we did before, Command Option J, which is Object, Path, Average, Command Option J. Control Alt J for Windows. Okay, do the same thing here, Command Option J. Okay, now we have the same visual shape sort of that we had before, but I lost that little kind of eye shape. It's not thin on both ends, so how do I do that? Well, I select the objects. In order to affect the objects, we need to select the object. Command key, hold on the Command key, drag a box around for objects. Go to the Object menu and expand Appearance. The appearance is what appears inside the Appearance menu, the Appearance palette, rather. So Object, expand Appearance, and I get my original shape. Now I take that, I make a brush from that, art brush, and hit OK. Make this tints and shapes. Make a change, save a change. I'm going to hide this. I'm going to move this down to here. And I'm just going to hide that, Command 3. So now, make a change, save a change, Command S. So now, when I create the spiral, and I pick this here, now notice again by default it's doing something kind of strange. It's not doing what you intended to do because you need to reset the appearance menu. So we can do that by hitting the D key. The D key goes back to default. I hit the X key because I don't want to fill this. I'm going to fill this with none. stroke this with black, then I'm going to stroke with pink. I'm going to select pink. Therefore, when I select this, how cool is that? There's my pink neon. Swirl to the top. It's thin on the top. It's thin on the bottom. So basically, this shape here, Command Option 3, took this shape. I just have to put that in the same place, didn't I? I'm going to hide that for a second. So it took this shape right here and put it inside of a swirl. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. So you do all kinds of cool things with this. As an example, we can take, I'm going to actually delete that. So we can take this shape here and we can basically put the shape edge to edge. So I can do something like this. So now I can take these two objects, go make a new brush, make a new art brush, hit OK. Again, if you want to take advantage of changing colors on this, then you must pick tints and shapes. Tints and shapes. Say that again 10 times fast. Okay, so I'm going to hide that. I'm just going to move this up to here and hide it. Command 3. So now if I create, say, let's create a rectangle. M for the rectangle tool. Make sure that my stroke is selected. X key. So now when I pick this, I get this really cool thing happening. Okay, it's a very nice shapes you can create because now you have a custom brush that is neon, that's both thick and thin at the same time. And if you go to the oval tool, and I go to my Shift C tool, Shift C, which is my convert direction point tool, I'm going to make this little eye shape by clicking here and clicking here. I missed it. So if I click right there, and I basically select that same tool, and I get some lips or whatever it is that you want to create. Endless possibilities. So if you now expand this so I can see all my brushes here, go back to the spiral tool. So here's my spiral. Incidentally, for those of you that have looked at my previous videos, if you hit down arrow or up arrow as you create the spiral, up arrow, down arrow, you can create more or less of a spiral. See how it's making more or less of a spiral. Okay, so depending on if you pick this setting, or this brush, or this brush, or this brush. So this brush is going from fat to thin to thin to fat. Okay, so here's one more technique. Let's say I just want to go from fat to thin. Well, a simple way to go from fat to thin is simply make yourself a rectangle. So here's a rectangle. Okay. And we're going to fill this with pink. So right now it's stroked with pink. So how do I exchange that? Shift key X, exchange the fill for the stroke. Now I'm going to select this path here. I'm not selecting the anchor points. Zoom in on this for a second. I'm selecting the path, not the anchor points. The path, deleting the path. Therefore, it leaves an open path. So I want to select these two anchor points. Object, object, path, go back to average again, average both access points. And there's my perfectly pointed box. Okay, so now I can turn that into a brush. So we're going to make our brush. Again, I want to benefit from these colors. I'm going to go to tints and shades and hit OK. So again, I'm going to hide that Command 3. If you create a spiral or any other shape you're creating, then now it's going to go from thick to thin. Okay, now it's going to go from thick to thin. Very cool techniques. Now, as a plus for watching my videos here, I've created my own custom neon brushes that you can now download and install yourself into your brushes palette. Just take the download, take the entire folder, go to your application menu. Inside of Adobe Illustrator is presets. Inside of presets is English folder. Inside the English folder is the brush folder. Just take the folder that you download and you'll get this. So if I come right here, I'm going to go to Think Illustrator, and I'm going to pick brushes 1 and 2. I'm going to give both these custom brushes for you guys for subscribing to my site and follow me on Twitter, which is simply @Adobe Videos, @Adobe Videos. So this is my gift to you. So if you pick this brush here, and I'm going to go back there again. So here's 2 sets of custom brushes that I've created for you. So look at all the fun we can have, all these different brushes. So I can have this kind of brush. Actually, that's a little too much. Let's make this brush. All right, that one's too fat. Okay, so let's make a shape again here. See, I think zoomed in here. Yeah, that's the problem. I'm zoomed in here, and I made a shape too small to begin with. I originally made it for a larger shape. So I'm going to select that shape and select this brush. Now that's black by default because my stroke is black. Okay, so if you pick, say, pink or red or orange, any color you want it to be. So let's go with this green color. Let's go with this purple color. So I can pick this brush or this brush or this brush. Now this is a wacky brush. You're probably not going to have much use for that one, but that one's there if you want to use it for something else. So these are all different types of custom brushes I've made for you that you can basically load up inside your Illustrator file by simply going to here, selecting the Think Illustrator folder. Now what you do here is you simply download the file out the path to it on the YouTube site that you can just download it, take the entire folder, go to your application menu, and put it inside your preset. Thank you very much. Follow me on Twitter, subscribe to my YouTube videos. I am here to help you. I have a lot of different channels. I have Think Illustrator, YouTube/Think Illustrator, YouTube/Think Dreamweaver, etc., etc., etc. Also, for quick tips, I have Adobe Quick Tips. YouTube.com/Adobe Quick Tips. Talk to you soon. Enjoy your day. Subscribe to my channel. Follow me on Twitter.